It's your daily dose of Donna. I'm your host, Donna Bowling. It is Wednesday, August 27th. Hopefully, everyone is having a fantastic hump day. I've got Wrigley in the room today, so we are going to have an interesting day. Potty training is going well, if you know what I mean. I'm being very sarcastic. Guys, stick around today because we've got some breaking news. Breaking news. When do we not have breaking news on Daily Dose of Donna? Kelley Wolf has been arrested. We are going to get all into that, what happened yesterday after the show, because the story did not end. We had a lot to go down in the stories, and I will get into that. Plus, is Ryan Reynolds the new Chevy Chase? Chevy Chase, according to some people on TikTok, he is. And that ain't a good thing. Plus, we have more of the deposition details released. More of Blake Lively's words from the deposition, and Taylor Swift engagement details have been released also. And it's been by her future father-in-law. I wonder if she loves it or is she okay with it? But more than that, the haters are out, and they're out strong because Mr. Swift, and by that I mean Travis Kelce, has inked himself a new collaboration, and it's not popular with a lot of people. So we're going to get into all of that. Don't you worry, all of that and more with Miss Wrigley. And we just found out which breed Miss Wrigley is. Miss Wrigley has a breed. I'll let you guys all know. So make sure you like and subscribe. It's your daily dose of Donna. Okay. Hey, guys. Welcome to the show. Please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you so much, mods, for being here and for helping out in the show. You guys, I have a big afternoon after this. I am going to Billy Bush's studio. I'm going to hang out with our friend Billy in studio. Should I bring Wrigley? That won't be distracting at all. Last time I went to Billy's studio, I brought Dylan, my 12-year-old. Today, I'll bring a dog. He'll be like, I'll never invite you back. Okay? No. I will go just in alone. We're talking Taylor and hopefully Blake. I always have to talk about Blake when I'm with Billy. Let's be real. And so, okay, before I get into the show, do you guys want to know about Wrigley's breed? So I used, and this is not sponsored at all. I should have tried to do it sponsored, but I used a panel. It's called Wisdom. I just went on Amazon and I was like, give it to me. And they gave us you do a saliva test for the dog. You send it in a lab, and a week later or so, they give you the results on a website. And here we go. So Lance wrote down the top 5 that we have, and this is what we got. Hold on, let me pull it up. I just had the picture. So Wrigley is didn't even know that this existed. Wrigley is it's so typical. Wrigley is a peekapoo. That's not a joke. Wrigley is a peekapoo. And that is 26% toy poodle, 19% Pekingese, 18% Chihuahua. You're an 18% Chihuahua, 7% Cocker Spaniel, plus 11% 11 other breeds in smaller percentages. And now she wants to go on the floor to explore. So when I run my ad in a little bit, I'm going to have to run inside and put her in her little crate so she doesn't, go missing during my show. How cute is that? So I didn't have to send a picture. I just had to send a little saliva test. I thought for sure she was something else. But she's a peekaboo. A peekaboo. If you Google a peekaboo, they look all different kinds. Because when I Googled a peekaboo, I was like, that's not Wrigley. But apparently they look everything. So I have a peekaboo. How cute is that? They're going to end up small. Okay, so welcome to the family, peekaboos. That is that on Wrigley. Let's get into the show. Breaking news. Kelley Wolf was arrested. Now, last night we had some, well, I would say yesterday, right after the show, we had some pretty revealing, crazy stuff going on Instagram. And let me just tell you really fast, I felt very vindicated because we had heard from her son. Now, she has 3 kids. She has 2 boys and a girl. They are 16. I believe her son Jack is 16, maybe 17 now. And then we saw the 2 other kids in her live video that mistakenly we saw on TV or we aired live, and then I had to delete. And those kids, I believe, are like 12 and 10 or something like that. Wrigley is barking at a trash can. We have an appointment with the trainer because this dog barks at inanimate objects constantly. So she has 3 kids. Now, this older child, we know that they've had a tumultuous relationship because when the divorce first was announced and we started to see all these concerning posts and she first got detained, Kelley Wolf, remember there was a 911 call that was released. And we had heard that she and the 16-year-old were getting into a little bit of arguments. She said that she took her 16-year-old's phone and she threw the phone at him and they were like arguing a lot. Now, look, teens are hard. So you could always say, oh, it's just like a typical teen, teen. That's a horrible comment. I hate that comment. I'm going to delete that comment. Clementine, that was a mean comment about my dog. I don't like that. So that was there was like a big I'm gonna have to play an ad in just a second because I won't be able to handle that. I'm gonna have to put her into her crate in just a second. Or I'm gonna have to move the trash can. We can't do that, my love. We can't. I'm gonna have to take you inside, sweetie. You're just gonna have to play for a bit. Okay, so so she was having all this tumultuous stuff with him anyway. But now that we're getting more insight into her mental state, this has been going on for a long time. When we saw her with her kids, they didn't seem very like shocked by her personality. They were kind of unfazed by her. So my guess is that she's been gradually getting worse and worse through time. And they're not really scared of her or shocked by the way that she was. They're just like, this is just mom being like weird again, right? So I have a feeling that this has been going on for a long time. And yesterday in stories, we were able to find out a little bit more insight into this. So just to kind of give you a little update, yesterday, 2 days ago was Monday, and that was when Kelley Wolf said, Kelley Wolf shared that live video, fell apart that the kids were coming. Then she said, all this wild stuff on her stories, how I don't drink, I want a baby. I don't do drugs, I don't drink, I want a baby. The next morning, she's posting photos and videos of making champagne smoothies. So there's no rhyme or reason in her stories and her videos. Anything that she says, you kind of can't take with a grain, or you can take it with a grain of salt because there's absolutely no rhyme or reason to anything she says. I believe the way that she kind of operates is a little bit, if only I could tell you what she's barking at now. I think she's just discovering the world. little Wrigley. She's barking at a wait. Listen, things scare or shock her. So she is very much she is very much like, I don't know, she just throws things out there, and anything she says you kind of really can't take seriously. So she is saying all kinds of things. But yesterday, she started putting her personal home address on her Instagram. She started saying all kinds of things. Now, she put her phone number. She put Scott Wolf's phone number. She put her old friend's Instagram account with this person's son's pictures all over her friend's Instagram that is a private Instagram, and it's filled with her kids' pictures. She posted it on her Instagram stories, and that's like an NO. That's a big NO. Um, it's doxing left and right. And then she says, 20 hours ago, this is my last request, Park City. The police won't help and have been called to me by the owners of businesses who no longer associate with me. Game on. I am strong. She's saying, I had a date night. I had a date tonight. I was making dinner for my kids. My life has been threatened 10 times today. My phone is hacked, she says. My car is wrecked. This is now a comedy, drama, epic tale of a small mountain town that needs serious mental health care. I am scared but entertained. This is stupid. I'm lonely. Who wants dinner and to give me a hug? And then, she gets in her car again. She is posting all kinds of random stuff. Then she posts, other random people's phone numbers. And then finally, 17 hours ago, she says, well, I'll show you guys this story. She says, oh, that's Wrigley again. Wrong story. She says, I tried and I lost. And you guys understand that if you are her family that loves her, this is probably very concerning. She says, I tried, I lost. I'm disabling this phone and IG. Please help my children. I'll be praying for them. I leave for 6 months tomorrow and I will not share my location. I have security with me. And it's time for me to take care of myself. Thank you to all who supported my kids. I will never forget them, and I truly hope they have a great life with their dad and his new girlfriend or boyfriend. Who knows? I'm done. I surrender. Well, as you can see, this kind of a story would be very concerning to someone if they were in a healthy mental state. In this comment, in these kinds of stories, you can see, like on the phone, you can see if people can like comment publicly. It's kind of strange. And her son commented and said, stop with the lies. Now, earlier, her son posted his own stories, which I'll be sharing with you in just a second. The next story, she says, to my love, whom I hope finds a path forward of love. No idea who that means. I surrender. I don't know if that means Scott. I'll find another man and maybe have a baby. I'll be okay. My phone is going off. I won't fight another minute. The kids hate me. The town hates me. And I love my life. Okay. I'm so happy, and all I wanted was to see my kids before I left. I love you, Scott. Take care of our kids. Please tell the judge I am sorry for being the best mom that ever lived and that someday you will all miss me. My flight departs soon, and I really tried my hardest. I'm sorry I let everyone down. And then right after that, she goes, shoot, I almost forgot my last scene. Silly me. I'm a great TV producer and reality star, but I suck at technology. I hate people and phones. Let's let Dimples field his own press, right? This old heifer needs a hug. I think she's talking about Scott, and some steak and a night out. All press inquires. And then she puts a phone number. I have no idea if that's hers. Good luck, y'all. And then the final story that she leaves 2 hours later says, the police are at my house to arrest me. I have no idea why. Deputy Norton said I must comply, and I will. I am not suicidal. I am no danger to anyone. I have done nothing. He said I will go to Summit County Jail. He said I can be taken into a cell and wait for a judge to make some ruling. I am so scared, so confused. I was about to go on a date, and it's the first time I could breathe. Please come and help me. They said I have probable cause of a crime. I cannot go to a hospital. I have no mental disorders, no drugs, no arrests, no speeding tickets ever. And that's the last she posted. In the meantime, her son earlier in the day, I'm going to tell you exactly why she was arrested in just a moment, but earlier in the day, her son had posted, I will share it with you in just a second. Her son had posted something incredibly sad. I put it in a little bit of a collage post. It was 2 stories, and he's a public account, so I didn't, go into anything private. But he posted, I do not associate with my mom in any way. Remember, he's a teenager. He is under 18. This is so sad that he has to say this. I do not associate with my mom in any way. She's very mentally ill and has completely lost the person she was. I am very sorry to anyone that has been abused physically or mentally by her. As well, anything said about my dad by Kelley is false. No, he is not an abuser. He is not a manipulator, and he is not a drug addict. He is a spectacular father and a great man. He only wishes the best for my mom. He also says in a different story, he says, if you are supporting this version of my mom, shame on you. And this is really important because there's a lot of women out there. In fact, a lot of them are in my DMs who are attacking me for talking about this. And I will say 2 things. Number 1, my job in terms of having a podcast is to talk about pop culture and entertainment news and celebrities. And I hate to say it, they may have not asked for this. The kids definitely did not ask for this, but this is celebrity news. This is on People. This is Us Weekly. This is TMZ. You can't deny this is celebrity news right now. When you go to people.com, it is top of the news, people.com, right? So I'm getting people alerts on this. Scott Wolf's wife, Kelley Wolf, arrested on electronic harassment charge amid post doxing actor exposing daughter's text messages. This is entertainment news. I will tell you about it in just a moment. Number 2, this is mental health news. We grew up with the Real World. If you're 44 like I am, we grew up with Real World, okay? We watched her growing up. We watched Party of 5. They feel in some capacity like people that we know. And I know that that sounds kind of sad to say, but if you're anything like me, you wanted to be her. Did you want to be her when you were younger? I wanted to be her. When she was on the Real World, I thought she was goals and a half. I was like, she is everything. She's beautiful. She's smart. She's perfect. She's gorgeous. And oh my God, she also landed this handsome actor and they have this perfect life. Like, wow, she really won the lottery. This is mind blowing how easily your life can just kind of fall apart in front of you. And also that our brains can do this to us. So I'm sorry, we are just we're human beings. I'm not coming at it from a salacious wanting to tear her down place. I'm coming at it from a place of sympathy and empathy for the kids and also actually for her and Scott. And just because she's a woman and he's a man, doesn't change the fact that it's still a really, really sad story. Because if he was a man and she was a woman, I think the world would be attacking it. Look at Jax Taylor, right? We would be talking about it like crazy. Now, there are some women out there that are very, very, very confident that it's his fault, that it's Scott Wolf's fault. He did this to her. In fact, I did have someone comment, and this is funny. I did have someone comment on my post about it the other day saying, I've seen too many men that have pushed women to this place. Dr. Leslie Dobson would know more about this. Now, Dr. Leslie Dobson, if you guys remember, she's the doctor that is confident that Justin Baldoni SA'd Blake Lively and many other women in the course of his life. I don't like to imagine that she would have the she would be the foremost authority on this. Because I think there's a lot of people out there that are just confident that, I hate to say it, but that the woman is usually in the right and the man is usually in the wrong. But in this case, I don't think that Scott is the problem. And I don't think it's not that he's perfect. Like, she says constantly that he is depressed and he has gone through, like, also self-harm thoughts and, like, depressive um bouts in his life. And that's possible, you guys. He's an actor. He struggles and this and this and that. It's not an easy life when you're an actor and you have a family to raise. And I'm sure, when she married him, he came off the Party of Five train and he was probably this, like, big actor. And then he probably went through years and years of, like, not being able to book a job. Let's be real. Uh, I'm sure he hasn't been like Mr. Happy Go Lucky their entire marriage. But I think he's probably, like, in a more stable place than she is at this point. I think he's probably doing a good job as a father in this moment, and the best job he possibly can for those kids. So her getting arrested right now, Kelley Wolf getting arrested is the best possible thing, I think, in this moment. And there's a lot of people in my DMs who are currently, who have gone through this. I got a comment. I hope I can find it for you guys. It's on my TikTok that I talked about this the other day, which is, over, like, almost 600,000 views. It's very popular. And this is what it says. Oh, this is a great comment. It says, I watched it about the live. I was her. I am a recovering alcoholic and I behaved this exact way going through my divorce. I am now over 8 years sober and my children and I have an incredible relationship, but I put them through hell. She needs help. I pray she gets the message soon. This, to me, is the goal. It's been wild to watch, but ultimately, this can't be the continuation of it. Like, it needs to end, right? And honestly, I hate to use that word, but I would say it ends with us. You know what I mean? It ends with this. So um I hope it ends with her. You know what I mean? I hope it ends now. Mental health is crazy. It's a crazy, crazy problem. And I hate to, let me wrap up this Scott Wolf and Kelley Wolf story right here, but she was arrested on charges of electric communication, harassment, and electronic disclosure of personal identifying information. She's being held in Summit County Jail. And she's violated a court-ordered gag order. She's doxed family members, making accusations against Scott. She was arrested late last night, and no formal charges have been filed at this point. She has yet to go before a judge, and it's unclear if she has a lawyer. We know she's lost a lawyer in the divorce proceedings because I'm sure the lawyer kind of can't handle it. I can't imagine it's easy to work with her in this moment. But let's see what happens, you guys. I really hope everything works out for both of them and for their kids. Now, I want to take a moment before we bring up our sponsor, Function Health, to talk about just a quick moment to, send my love to everyone in Massachusetts right now. I'm sorry, Minneapolis. I'm so sorry. Minneapolis, the Annunciation Catholic School in Minneapolis and the area over there, because what a tragedy. I don't mean to make this like a sad show right now, but speaking of mental health, what a tragedy. What a horrible experience over there. Another school shooting. Um, so many of you guys live in that area. I've gotten so many DMs since I posted about it on my stories. There is nothing more awful. I mean, there's so many awful things in this world, but I can't imagine a more awful thing than sending your child to school and hearing that this is happening at your kid's school. Nothing more awful. I mean, the most awful thing is to find out that your kid was involved. Can't imagine. And I saw the mayor saying, enough with the thoughts and prayers. These kids were actually praying. It happened during a mass. For it to happen at a place of worship, a temple, a church, any sort of place like that, what are we doing wrong? This is just absolutely awful. What a tragedy. The two children were 8 and 10. As far as I know, they were sitting in the pews. That's all I know about it right now. Uh, many, many others wounded. I don't even know where to go with that. Just absolutely awful. So I'm sending love to anyone in that area, anyone that was affected, and just the world. I don't even know where to go, you guys. It's just, ugh. Now we need to lighten the show up. Stick around, you guys. Make sure to stick around. I'm just gonna throw on my commercial for Function Health. I'm gonna throw. I'm going to put Wrigley in her crate so I can just be distraction free. And then we're gonna talk about Blake Lively because we need to lighten the show up a little bit and hopefully make fun of Bitter Betty. Okay. This show is brought to you by Function. I choose Function because it's the only health platform that gives you access to the kind of data most people never see and the insights to actually take action. Inside Function, you can test over 160 biomarkers from heart and hormones to toxins, inflammation, and stress. And you can also access multi-region MRI and CT scans all tracked in one secure place over time. That's why top health leaders like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Andrew Huberman, and Dr. Jeremy London are all behind Function Health. Most people think if I have low iron, I'll take an iron supplement. No big deal. But having low iron might not be the issue, and supplementation could actually backfire. See, iron plays several essential roles. It's part of hemoglobin, which carries oxygen in the blood, and it supports both energy production and immune function. But in order to be absorbed, transported, and stored properly, iron relies on ferritin and copper. Ferritin is your iron storage protein. Think of it like a bank. Low ferritin means the body's reserves are running low. High ferritin can reflect iron overload or other stress in the body, since ferritin also rises during illness or inflammation. Copper, on the other hand, is essential for mobilizing iron from storage. So without enough copper, iron can get stuck in tissues, unable to be used. Our bodies are pretty freaking amazing. Now that I think about it, we're like machines. Copper, ferritin, iron. I mean, seriously, we literally are machines. The best approach to see a more complete picture is testing your levels of all three, the iron, the ferritin, and copper. And you can do all of this through Function. You guys, I went to Function. I actually went to the lab through Function, but I got my blood tested 2 times over the course of 10 days. I got all my results, all my biomarkers. I'm able to see which ones I'm in range, which ones I'm out of range, and you can do it too. It's super easy. The website is super easy to read. You can learn more and join using my link. The first 1,000 of you get a $100 credit towards your membership. Visit www.functionhealth.com/Dana, that's DANA, or use code DANA, DANA 100 at sign up to own your health. Okay, I made it. I ran. I did it. I came back. We'll see what happens. Okay, let's have fun now, okay, you guys? Let's lighten up. We all need some light in this world. Should I sing? Okay, you guys, I'm glad you enjoyed my Blake Lively impression yesterday. That was a fun one. Even Lance, who very rarely comes home and says, wow, Donna, wow. He was like, that made me laugh out loud. And I said, thank you so much. I will be putting a tip jar out, next to my bed. Guys, big news. Ryan Reynolds is turning into Chevy Chase. Did you guys hear this? Did you see this video? And I love it so much because it's coming from someone who I believe is like not one of us little like girly pops who love to do, videos on Blake Lively or those kinds of things. This is a person. His name is Drew Parker 2K, and he's on TikTok, and he talks about Fantastic Four. He talks about Marvel. He talks about superheroes. Okay, that's what he talks about. Hey guys, welcome on in. Welcome on in. I'm so Zach Peter right now. He talks about superheroes. That's what he talks about. So I have to honestly really shout this out because this is Ryan Reynolds' audience. And this is the worst possible thing to happen to Ryan Reynolds, is that his own audience turns on him. This ain't like the girls that are, Justin Baldoni stans. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, This David Parker guy, or Drew Parker, the fantastic Drew Parker, he has 350,000 followers over on TikTok. He's posted and it already has almost 2 million views, is saying that Ryan Reynolds is turning into Chevy Chase. Now, if you don't know, and before I show you the video, Chevy Chase does not have a good reputation in Hollywood. Chevy Chase is a big a-hole in Hollywood. He's known to be not nice. He's known to be rude to his co-stars. He's known to lose it on people. He's known to fight with people. He's known to be mean to his fans. So let's watch why Drew Parker feels this way.
Reynolds turn into this generation's Chevy Chase, and honestly, it's not that surprising when you look back at his career and compare it to Chevy. They're basically just the same person, really. Most people younger than I am, you probably know Chevy Chase as the old guy Pierce from Community. And if you know anything about Community, you know that Chevy Chase was barely even playing a character. He is just that much of an asshole, offset as he is when they're rolling and he's in character. Long before Community, because let's be honest, Chevy Chase being on a sitcom was just a sign of how far he had fallen. Chevy Chase was like the attractive, funny guy in Hollywood in the 70s and 80s. Part of that first SNL cast and the first host of Weekend Update. That launched Chevy Chase into his career. I mean, he basically went the Adam Sandler route before Adam Sandler did, especially with the National Lampoon series. All of this fame and success got to a point to where Chevy Chase's ego became so big that he thought he was the funniest person in every single room he walked into, to where he would
Sounds
just
familiar.
be an asshole and play it off as a joke. Not only that, Chevy Chase movies have been criticized by many other creatives due to the fact that Chevy Chase characters never learn anything in their movies. They start out as a sarcastic asshole and they end the movie as a sarcastic asshole, with like the exception of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You look at what's happening with Ryan Reynolds recently and the downfall of Chevy Chase, they are basically parallel. Active funny guy in Hollywood spends 20 years playing the exact same character in every single movie he's in, suddenly thinks that he is the peak of comedy in Hollywood and that he can say whatever he wants to anybody on set and pass it off as a joke and face no consequences. Really hate that I have to say these things, because there was a time that I really loved Ryan Reynolds. I'm pretty sure there was a time most of us loved Ryan Reynolds, but that facade has dropped. We can all see through the mask that he puts up as this like funny, nice guy, and we can see who he really is. Yeah, get ready for 2050 when we eventually see Ryan Reynolds playing a grumpy old man in a sitcom. It's just playing himself, because he's on the Chevy Chase path right now, and we all know where that ends.
It's so true. Just you wait. It's going to be like Everybody Loves Raymond or whatever, starring Ryan Reynolds. And funny enough, remember during the SNL 50th reunion, the only people that would like take a picture with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively the night before was Chevy Chase. And I did a whole reel about it. And I was like, this is so weird, because the only person that's taking a picture with them is the guy that has the worst reputation in Hollywood. So it's very, very interesting. I still can't get over the fact that Blake Lively's 38th birthday came and went, and her husband, Ryan Reynolds, who has been known to leave the most sappy, over the top, you moved mountains, moved the ocean, painted stars in the sky person, writes those kinds of things for his wife, did not make one public show of affection, one public note, did not say one public piece of evidence, nothing for her birthday. On the 1 year when he knows all eyes are on them, can someone explain to me this? Something is going on there. If I were like an investigator, which I guess I basically am at this point. Like at this point, I basically am a private investigator. Yeah. I mean, I would say I am. I would say that looks like there's trouble in paradise. And it's weird because it's not even like even if he hates her, I feel like for this case, you would still put up a public sentiment, even just a freaking story. He talked about Wrexham. He wants to F Wrexham. What is up with that, you guys? What would be the reason that Ryan Reynolds would not put up a story, at least just a story, saying happy birthday to my wife, the love of my life? What is that? What could it be? You guys, I can't think of any reason. There's no positive reason of not writing a story. The only positive reason of not writing a story is for people to talk about them more. Right? To question it. Now, I think something happened in that deposition. Something happened in that deposition, which we got a little bit more footage of or transcript of. We'll talk about it. Something happened in that deposition that he hasn't shared anything about her since that deposition. Don't you guys think? It was her birthday. There was no public picture of them going out after the deposition. There was no public picture of them going out for dinner or drinks since the deposition. Has there been? There has not been. Okay, wait. I know I am a private investigator, but sometimes I'm off my game. Has there been any picture or evidence of them out together? I know I have 800 of you guys in this live. One of you can tell me. Has there been one picture of them out together since July 31st in 27 days? Someone tell me. I don't think there has been. Asking the good old Grok, has there been a public appearance of Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in August 2025? I don't think so. No. The most recent public appearances was at the Time 100 Gala. Has there been a public appearance of Blake Lively in August 2025? Have we seen her? I don't think so. How about Ryan Reynolds? They died. Are they alive? I think the only appearance we had was her putting on her mousse in her Instagram, in her bathroom. She's doing that hair care event. So we know she's set to do something, and they're posting on their stories. So then we know that, oh, yes, Ryan Reynolds made a public appearance in August 2025. So she hasn't, but on August 13, 2025, he posted. This is his public appearance. He posted on August 13th. Yes, the day of the podcast. Remember the day of the Taylor Swift podcast? He posted an enigmatic image on his Instagram page featuring a red anarchy symbol drawn over the Avengers official team logo, teasing a potential appearance in Avengers Doomsday. While this was a social media appearance rather than a physical event, it marked a notable public engagement, sparking speculation about his involvement in the upcoming Marvel film. Okay, so he posted on his Instagram in August, but he hasn't actually gone out and about. So both Ryan and Blake are not out and about together in August. But we do know that he came with her as part of the team with whooping and wallering, whoop, 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 bowl of cherries, and Robin Lively. They all came together as a team Avengers, Team Blake, to the deposition on July 31st. Now, in that deposition, I believe something happened. He was like, boy, his eyes went, what happened? He wasn't actually in the deposition. Remember, he just walked in. He was like, walking in. You know, his head was really small, but his body was, he probably was making sound effects as he walks in, right? He probably was. And then when he walked in, but then they were like, Ryan, you can't come in. And he was like, oh, that's right. I'll just like see myself out of there. Like making jokes. Like I can totally see him trying to make jokes. And then he went over to like the receptionist. He's like, hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. You know who I am? I was in The Proposal. Like I can see him totally trying to be funny. And they were like, yeah, you're going to sit in there. Water? Or do you like coffee? So he went over to the other room, sat there, but something happened. I bet you he heard about what happened in the deposition. And since then, he doesn't want to be seen with her, which is why she's alone in the bathroom eating a burrito with her new husband, Mr. Moose. Mr. Moose Lively. Has to be. Oh my God, his new name is Darth Reynolds. I am your father. But I am not your husband. I love you, Hugh Jackman. Am I okay? Okay. And then he like randomly was like bored because it was a long deposition. He's like, does anyone want me to do like the bye 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 dance? Like, baby, bye 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 bye. And everyone's like, this is an office. Like we're actually trying to work here. And he's like, yeah, totally. Just like, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Just checking it. Big star. Autograph? Anyone? Like, I can just totally see how this is going down. And everyone's like, dude. Okay, Chevy. Anyway, so that is my guess that they're just like they're not seeing eye to eye on these days. Now they're probably watching Daily Dose of Donna right now, so they will be posting something together tomorrow or tonight. Tonight they'll be posting something together because they're like, shit, she knows she's on us. And then they saw my reenactment yesterday, so they're like checking right now for cameras. They're like, she's in the bathroom. She saw you, Blake. She even heard how you said subpoena them all. So she knows what we're doing. She knows. You guys, Donna is wiretapping us. We got to get her out of here. She even knows about my Darth Reynolds bit. Like something, got to get her out of here. All right. Her unsealed deposition. Now, this is quite interesting. We do have a little bit of the unsealed deposition. And it was in some of the court documents. I can't get through all the court documents. They're too complex. They're too insane for me. But I like to give you guys the juicy parts. In the most recent unsealed documents, there's a couple things that are quite interesting, you guys. So we're going to do a Q&A between Brian Friedman and Blake Lively. Unfortunately, I can only play the role of both. So I don't have anyone else to play other roles. So it's just me and me. I can't make it bigger either. Actually, if I go to X, oh my God. I went to X and this is what I saw. Jesus. Aviation Jen. No, I don't want to see you. It's Ryan. Okay, let me find this really fast. Maybe this is going to be, no, it's not going to be bigger here, is it? I'm just going to try to see if I can find. Okay, no, this is better. I'll just do it here. Okay. So Brian Friedman says, sorry. I'm sorry. Brian Friedman says, I'm just trying to find out if you're aware of anything that Jed Wallace has published about you that you can complain about that would be part of a smear campaign. Ezra Hudson says, objection. Blake Lively, sorry, I don't think I understand the question. Brian Friedman, in the law that the thousands of people who are witnessing this deposition practice a lot, there is a thing called libel, which is written defamation which is written defamation, disparagement. And then there is a slander, which is oral defamation or disparagement. So I'm focusing on written. Is there anything you've seen in writing that you believe that Mr. Wallace has authored that is defamatory, disparaging, or says mean things about you? She says, that's happening currently. He says, well, let's start with currently. Sure. She says, currently, I don't read news about me or go on social media about me. So personally, I don't have knowledge. No. And on a show of hands, how many of us believe that Blake Lively does not go on social media? Bullshit. And he goes, okay. And that's as of today. And going backwards in time, can you identify any written thing that you believe Mr. Wallace published about you that is defamatory, disparaging, in any way offending to you? Objection. She goes, a specific article or no, I don't know a specific article. He says, okay. And it could be a post, anything in writing that you can look at, like I'm looking at this screen and reading, and you're not aware of anything that he's authored that you can actually see, whether it's a post, an article, or a video or something like that, correct? Objection. She goes, I can't cite a specific article. My understanding from the documents I received is that he was part of this campaign, which contained a lot of content. But to be able to name one specific article, if that's what you're asking, no. He goes, yeah, okay. And you are right to focus on one specific article. And I also wanted to focus on one specific author, which would be Mr. Wallace. And are you aware of any specific article that he authored himself? Maybe in conjunction with others, but that he authored himself. Objection. She says, with his name on it? No. I understand Mr. Wallace's work to be quite clandestine. I hope I'm saying that right. Is it clandestine or clandestine? Clandestine or clandestine? No, that means to be secretive. Clandestine. I think it's clandestine. So I'm not aware of anything that has his name on it. He goes, how do you know his work was quite clandestine? She goes, that's how it's been described to me by everyone who knows him. That everyone who I've spoken with him who knows him. It's also what was described in the documents we received, both in the Jones work documents as well as documents in discovery. He goes, who described him to you as quite clandestine? You said that people told you that? Clandestine. Thank you. Clandestine. Who described him to you as quite clandestine? Jesus, that's a hard one. You said that people told you that? Who told you that? She goes, I don't know that those were the words that were used. Sure, he says. She says that was the general sort of descriptor or the general idea. And then Ezra Hudson says, and you're excluding Blake, and then Brian Friedman, what is astroturfing? And Blake Lively says, my understanding of astroturfing is when a conversation or sentiment is inorganic. And unlike a grassroots marketing campaign, it is fake in that it is a sentiment that is where there is a particular person, group, or organization behind it. And then Friedman goes, okay. And you say in this complaint that the coordinated astroturfing campaign to discredit and bury Miss Lively. What do you mean by bury you? The astroturfing campaign was meant to bury you? Objection. Brian Friedman. Do you know what that means? What is meant by that? Objection. Blake Lively. I do. Brian Friedman. And what is meant by that? And Blake Lively says there were descriptives that were used by Justin Baldoni, Jennifer Abel, and Melissa Nathan. The term bury. He wants to feel like she can be buried. Brian Friedman. Okay. And Blake Lively says, and Melissa Nathan says, we can bury her. Brian Friedman says, okay. And Blake Lively says, so that's why that word was chosen. Brian Friedman says, this is going to seem like a facetious or silly question, but you didn't take that to mean they were going to physically bury you, just that they were going to reputationally bury you. Is that how you took it or not? She says, when they said that, I felt reputationally. When Steve Sarowitz said that there would be 2 dead bodies by the time he was done with us, yeah, I considered that might be literal. He says, you thought that you might be in physical jeopardy? She goes, you, as a mother, you feel like anything could be possible in those moments. It's terrifying. Brian Friedman, yeah. Putting aside the physical jeopardy, was the reference to burying and 2 dead bodies inclusive of reputational injury or not? Objection. She goes, I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. And that's what we have. Okay. Now, I kind of like smirk a little bit. Because the reason why Ezra is objecting, I see the question. The reason why Ezra is objecting is because this deposition eventually will go to the judge. If you're objecting as an attorney and she still continues to answer, is because she has to answer in the deposition. She must answer. However, because you're objecting, the judge can then decide whether or not that part of the transcript gets to be X'd out for the jury or not. So she may or may not have some of that scrapped for the final transcript. Does that make sense? So Ezra is going to literally object the entire time. It's like every question objection. Oh yeah, make sure to hype me up. Thank you, Don. Hype me up. I forgot. So you always have to object. I guess that's like a very normal thing in a deposition. It's kind of annoying, but yeah, Gwen says objection is used pretty much after every question in depositions by both sides. Is Ryan your husband? Objection. Okay. So that's why the objection. Now, what's interesting, there's a few interesting things about this. Number one, she can't name any articles that she believes were actually put out by Jed to smear her, which means she doesn't have actual evidence in her own brain of how Jed Wallace smeared her. She's just heard from other people that his work is secretive. That's that clandestine word, right? The 2 bodies comment made her, as a mother, fear for her physical safety. She truly has gotten herself worked up. And I don't know if this is for the purpose of the lawsuit to say that like it's a real thing, or she actually truly is this paranoid and believes that these people wanted to actually murder her and bury her and Ryan Reynolds. I don't understand that part. But as a mother, she says, as a mother, you have to worry about this. But as a mother, she also is letting her 7-year-old say perverse words and watching, really, really funky scenes on planes of her dad eating whipped cream out of like buttholes and whatever. Remember all those scenes that we've seen? And giving her son birthday cakes of boobs. And as a mother. So take it for what it's worth. As a mother, she believes that this man, Steve Sarowitz, whose career and life is focused on being a philanthropic man, he's never been a physically violent man. He has nothing on his record whatsoever of being a violent man, of being physical, of being aggressive. He's not like a mafia guy. It's not like she's dealing with like some, soprano guy, not even like a Randall from, Lala's ex-husband, like or boyfriend. She's dealing with a good man on paper. He's a family man. He has kids of his own. And she thinks that this man is the guy that she has to worry for her physical safety. This is the one. Really? When meanwhile, Ryan has actual people that have died on his sets. Really? Really? Got it. Got it. Got it. Objection. So that's where we stand with that. Now, I think that's all I want to say about Miss Betty Buzz. Oh, this is an interesting one. Daily Mail with their exclusives. They are driving me mad. Look at this exclusive that came out yesterday. The PRs are PRing. Okay, look at this one, and then we'll move on to Taylor Swift. Blake Lively says Justin Baldoni's team made terrifying remarks. Terrifying remarks as smear campaign claims emerge. Terrifying. This is about the same thing that we just talked about. But this is what the headline says. She claims to have been left in fear for her life. I can't. Fear for her life due to a smear campaign allegedly waged against her. But she was unable to pinpoint a single offensive article when challenged by his legal team. Oh, that's just a side note. I'm so scared for my life, but I don't really know how and why. So she just sounds a little paranoid, don't you think? Part of the transcript has now been unsealed, and it reveals the mom of four struggling to answer questions. But it talks about the "we can bury her." Lively claimed to believe in it. Oh, it's not even about Steve Sarowitz. It was really about Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel. I mean, it's so ridiculous. She added when she said it. I mean, they said it. He said it. Everyone. I mean, no wonder she thinks she's subpoenaing creators. She literally, you know what she reminds me of? You guys, I just realized we have a new name. You know how Blake Perez Hilton has so many names for her? We have a new name. And this is going to be a throwback to anyone that grew up in the 80s. Do you guys remember Amelia Bedelia? This is a throwback. This is her new name. Amelia Bedelia is a character that was in books, and she was a woman that took everything really, really literally, right? And so I remember a book called Amelia Bedelia, and she was like, I remember one time, now I'm looking it up. Oh yeah, she causes like all these, she's a literal minded girl. And so people would say like jump rope, and she would put the rope on the ground and she would just start jumping over it. And then someone said, hit the road, Jack. And she would go out there and just start hitting the road. She's a literal person. Blake doesn't have a sense of humor. That's what it is. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. She's too literal. But she gets all of Ryan Reynolds' jokes, I guess. She just has the worst sense of humor or something. She just doesn't understand. She's too sensitive. She's like one of those people that can dish it but can't take it. And I did see a comment yesterday that when she saw the way that Taylor Swift was proposed to with all the florals, she probably said like, they're thinking about me. I bet they're thinking about me. Like, I bet it was a little bit about me. Yes, Robin. Oh my God, dust the furniture. She would take like a thing of dust and just put it on the furniture. Yes. So no teeth literally meant no teeth. Yeah. Ball buster. She probably did mean like busting a ball. Oh my God. There you go. Figured it out. Okay. So let's move on and talk a little bit about this like interesting reaction to Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and then we'll one more little story about Karen Reed. Okay, Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, they get engaged, and I'm going to be talking about this on Billy Bush at 2 p.m., 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern. I'll be live in studio with Billy Bush in just a couple hours, so make sure to tune in there live. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce obviously announced their engagement yesterday, but now we know that he proposed to her. I believe it was 2 weeks ago. So obviously Ed Kelce Ed Kelce, father-in-law, went on a TV show yesterday and just let it all out. Now, how do you guys think Taylor Swift dealt with that? That Travis Kelce, her future father-in-law, just said like everything in a random interview. Do you guys think that she's mad or she's okay with it? He said that they got engaged almost 2 weeks ago and he just spilled everything. He said that he showed her the the engagement ring. He said it was an interview on just a random News 5. He said it took place 2 weeks ago at Travis's home. But I don't think it was at Travis's home. Wasn't it at some random place? He said he was gonna put it off till this week. I think she was getting maybe a little antsy, but he was gonna put it off till this week to make some grand thing, to make it a big special event. And I told him repeatedly, you could do it on the side of the road, do it any place that makes it a special event. When you get down on one knee and ask her to marry you. He got her out there. They were about to go to dinner and he said, let's go out and have a glass of wine. When they go out there, and that's when he asked her, and it was beautiful. They started FaceTiming me and their mother and her folks to make sure everybody knows. So to see them together is great. I got a FaceTime call from them, and as soon as I saw the FaceTime, I saw it was Travis, and then I saw Taylor with them. I knew what they were going to say, and they, let us know. So obviously it's very cute. So apparently this ring, and we're just like, I'm kind of shocked. I didn't know, but apparently this ring is in the millions. Is that wild? And she's wearing a dress that is, like, going to be sold out. I'm sure whoever is gonna do the wedding gown is, like, people are dying to do the wedding gown. But whatever. I think she's so in love that she doesn't even care at this point if the dad and the father-in-law is talking about it. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? She's so happy. Now, there's haters all over Instagram and all over TikTok, and I'm okay with that. Like, you can hate on Taylor Swift, but people are so mad because you guys, he today, and I love this. He collaborated with American Eagle. And the people that wanted to cancel American Eagle a couple weeks ago for the Sydney Sweeney ad are losing their ever-loving minds over this. And I think it's so funny because I don't care about that. I thought that was like the most ridiculous overkill, trying to cancel American Eagle for the Sydney Sweeney ad. But today, American Eagle reveals that Travis Kelce is part of this huge collaboration it's like a sports collaboration. It's called True Colors and American Eagle. It's True Colors by Travis Kelce. It's a debut limited edition collaboration. And it's a massive, let me try to find it here. I mean, the picture he took has him with long hair, so I don't know exactly when he collabed with them and when he did this. I wonder if it's before Sydney Sweeney, but it says Travis Kelce gets in bed with Sydney Sweeney, Great Jeans Company. Kelce announced the collab the day after he and Taylor Swift announced their engagement. Travis Kelce is collaborating with MAGA. This is what this article says. MAGA's new favorite denim company, American Eagle. I don't know if that's true. That seems ridiculous. A month after Sydney Sweeney's Great Jeans ad sparked backlash, Kelce's clothing and lifestyle brand True Colors teamed up with American Eagle. Kelce and the company announced Wednesday for a limited edition line modeled by basketball player Kian Anthony, Olympic gymnast Suni Lee, and more athlete friends of Kelce's across various sports. More than a year in the making, the press release stresses. Okay, so they've been doing this for a year. Travis Kelce merges fashion, sports, and culture. The announcement comes just one day after his engagement to Taylor Swift. As you can see, this is a variety of different sport athletes. It says, noting that the brand team up originated a year ago is helpful for separating the apolitical persona of the football team from, oh my God, this is definitely, what is Daily Beast? Is Daily Beast like a really, really political website? How did I randomly end up here? Is Daily Beast super political? Where am I? What is Daily Beast? What is Daily Beast? Is it very left or very right? I have no idea. What politics is a Daily Beast? Someone tell me because I can't find it. It says it's fair. There's no way this is fair. It's very politically charged, I can tell you that. Because it's talking about eugenics and Nazi propaganda and MAGA. This is wild. Okay. I don't know why I'm sharing that article. Okay. It's very left leaning. Oh, super woke. Okay. Ridiculous based on that article. Thank you. That was insane. I just picked up a picture and I saw it. I didn't realize I was like on the craziest article ever. It was so stupid. Okay, let me find a better article. See, don't trust everything you see on the internet. Jesus. Well, that's what I'm saying. I opened up something on TikTok and someone was like, typical of Taylor Swift. Typical of Taylor Swift. You think we wouldn't pass by us that the capitalist, addicted moneymaker didn't get engaged right before they're going to make all the money from the NFL and he's going to sign up with the Nazi propaganda. Whoa, white supremacy, American Eagle, and she's not going to talk about Gaza. And I was like, oh, we've gone too far. People are psycho online. Like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too over the top. Let Taylor and Travis live their lives. People are out of control, right? It's seriously so out of control. Oh my God. Anyway, I'm happy for Taylor and Travis. And I think that, I think that it's actually very sweet that they're married. I mean, that they're engaged. I think it's very sweet that she's 35 and she finally found the love of her life. They seemed incredibly in love in that interview. I love Jason Kelce. I don't really know a lot about Kylie Kelce. I have to be 100% honest with you guys. I don't get the best vibe from her. I haven't loved her forever. I find her a little bit like, do you guys like her? I find her a little cold. I'm not sure exactly what it is about her, but I love Jason Kelce. Jason Kelce is my man. Don't know why. But I really like, I like the vibe. I just think I was watching a video last night of Travis Kelce dancing to Taylor Swift at a concert, and I was like, I don't know why, but I have a crush now on him. And did you see his hands? I'm just saying, they're not these. Sorry, but they're not Craig hands. Wow. You know what I mean? Wowza. Okay. Finally. The last story of today is, well, before we get into our last story, we have a leak. We have a massive Dancing with the Stars leak. And I'm not allowed to tell you guys who's on Dancing with the Stars because my husband works on Dancing with the Stars. I'm not allowed to tell you, but when it's been leaked publicly, I'm going to share what the leaks are. I'm not allowed to confirm anything. But if it's leaked publicly, like on Dumois, I'm just sharing what Dumois is saying, okay? So as you guys know, we do know that Whitney and Jen from Mormon Wives are on Dancing with the Stars. We do know that Alex Earl is on Dancing with the Stars. And we do know that Steve Irwin's son, who cares, is on Dancing with the Stars. Sorry, I'm just going to be honest. But as of yesterday, Dumois did spot another hottie. Jess Khaleesi says, you want to guess? Okay, I'll give you a guess. Are you ready? A brother of an actor who was he was on a reality show this year. Very hot, very good looking. Anyone? Yes, Tiffany got it right. There you go. There you go. Zac Efron's brother is Dylan Efron. Okay, someone said don't say ouch about Robert Irwin. I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm sorry. That was mean, but I'm just not that interested in that. Okay, Dylan Efron has been spotted. Now, it's not official, but I'm just showing you what Dumois is leaking. Now, this is funny looking, right? But this is outside of the rehearsals, and they put these things on them. But there's cameramen right outside the rehearsals. There's paparazzi standing right out there. That's the really nice security guard. And like, people are seeing who that is. Now, we also have another person who's been leaked. And can I give you guys a hint? Can I say, how do you say cucumber? How do you say cucumber? Do you guys know who that is? How do you say cucumber? Sources say Ilaria. 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 But I can't confirm or deny. But sources say Alec Baldwin's controversial wife, Ilaria, will be joining. And let me tell you something. If it's true, it will be incredibly entertaining to watch. Horrible. It's like a Jussie Smollett situation, but so entertaining. But who the hell is watching all her 20 kids? That's what I want to know. Ilaria. Ilaria. Okay, and the final story, and then I guess Zach's Peter is starting because he's always stepping on my toes. Karen Reed. Karen Reed. Big news. Big news. Big news. Karen Reed. Elizabeth Banks is starring as Karen Reed. Our girl, Elizabeth Banks. I love how I say our girl like she's my friend, but she is my neighbor. Elizabeth Banks is starring as Karen Reed in a limited series about an infamous court case from Prime Video. Is this not exciting? She is going to be in a limited series on Prime Video and Warner Brothers Television. They're in development with Elizabeth Banks. Also, Wondery and David E. Kelley, Justin Noble as showrunner. I don't know if you know any of these people. David E. Kelley is married to Michelle Pfeiffer. Wondery is that big podcast company. So a lot of us know Wondery through that. It's a Law and Crime is doing it. Lots of big producers that I know are doing it. It's of course going to be about Karen Reed and that whole story. Now I need to know who else is going to be cast in this, but it's going to be for Amazon Prime. They've worked together on Better Sister. That's Elizabeth Banks and Better Sister. And it's going to be incredibly exciting. So I just want to know who the hell is going to play all the other characters. Need to know. So that's that. All right, you guys. I love you. Thank you so much. Enrique goes, I love how everyone in LA calls each other neighbors. LOL, like, come on, but she really is. Like, not right next door, but she's blocks away. Like, literally. Okay. I saw that on the list of Dancing with the Stars. Corey Feldman was on the list of leaks, but I really don't know that. I actually have no idea about that. I love you guys. Thank you for subscribing. Watch me on Billy Bush at 2 p.m. Pacific time, 5 p.m. Eastern. I will see you guys later. Bye, y'all.